If there's one lesson my years of prepping have taught me, it's that victory favors the prepared. Life can throw curveballs at any moment, whether it's a tragic car accident on the way to work, a sudden medical emergency, or navigating through the aftermath of a natural disaster. Do you have the skills not just to survive, but to thrive and be helpful to those around you? Today, I'm breaking down the top 10 basic essential survival skills every man needs to master to safeguard himself and his family. But that's not all. I'm also sharing some unconventional wisdom that you won't find in any of your typical survival manuals. So let's jump in. A fire is more than just heat and light. It's survival itself. It warms you during frigid nights, purifies water, cooks food, and can even keep your morale high in dire circumstances. Here's how to get started. Start with the basics. Learn to light a fire with matches or a lighter. Understand the importance of tinder, kindling, fuel, air. Practice layering your sticks to allow oxygen flow. Once you understand the basics, it's time to upgrade your skills just a little bit. Experiment with ferro rod, magnesium fire starters for daytime fires. Try creating your own DIY fire starters by using char cloth, dryer lint, or cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly. For the more advanced techniques, try friction-based methods like the bow drill or hand drill. These take patience and lots of practice, but could save your life when you have no supplies. Unorthodox tips. Carry a magnifying glass with you. It's lightweight, requires no fuel, and can harness the sun's power to ignite tinder in seconds. Consider adding steel wool and a small battery like a 9-volt in your kit. Touching the terminals to the steel wool creates sparks to ignite tinder. If cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly are not in your kit, try using lip balm or chapstick to coat a t-shirt strip or other piece of fabric to make them burn longer and hotter. Have you tried packing small amounts of sawdust or dryer lint into egg carton cups, then seal them with melted wax to create long-burning, compact fire starters? A shelter can be the difference between life and death in extreme weather, whether it's the wilderness hut or a makeshift car shelter. Knowing how to construct one is crucial. Here are the basics. Practice building tarp shelters with cordage. Experiment with configurations like the lean-to, A-frame, or plow point. Keep shelters compact for better heat retention. Large spaces take longer to warm up with body heat. Use natural materials like leaves, pine needles, or cardboard, or even car mats to prevent heat loss to the ground. Once you get the basics down, try building debris huts or lean-tos. These take more time but provide excellent protection in a pinch. Unorthodox tips. Carry a reflective space blanket. It can double as insulation, a tarp, or even a signal device in emergencies. Consider using large industrial contractor-grade bags to serve as instant rain shelters or sleeping bag liners. They're lightweight and multi-purpose. Deflated mylar balloons can be repurposed for insulation or as a reflective layer inside a shelter to retain body heat. That super large umbrella can be quickly converted into a personal shelter by tying cordage to the handle and securing it to trees and or stakes. Water is life, but only if it's safe to drink. Knowing how to filter and purify water is a survival essential. Take these first easy steps. Use camping filters like the Proven Life Straw and Sawyer's, or boil water to kill pathogens. Learn to use purification tablets, iodine, or even bleach in proper proportions. If your filters become damaged, learn to create your own filters using sand, charcoal, and cloth. When it comes to water, always remember the difference. Filtering removes debris, and purifying kills bacteria and viruses. Always do both. Carry a small bottle of activated carbon powder. It can remove toxins, bad taste, and even some chemicals from water. Consider purchasing a portable UV purifier like a SteriPen that can kill bacteria, viruses, and protozoa in seconds, perfect for compact survival kits. For a more advanced version of the DIY filter, try using charcoal from campfire as part of the DIY water filter to remove impurities and odors. You might save a life with basic first aid knowledge. Whether it's stop bleeding or performing CPR, these skills are the absolute basics. Your first step should be to learn CPR and first aid from a certified instructor. Fire departments often offer these courses at low or no cost. Practice the basics of applying pressure and dressing a wound. Next, work on learning how to use tourniquets only for arterial bleeding. Yes, that's right, red and spurting type of bleeding. There will almost always be a need for basic splinting, so practice immobilizing fractures using sticks, cardboards, or even rolled-up magazines. Unorthodox tips: learn to make improvised medical tools like using duct tape for wound closures or sanitary pads for heavy bleeding. Don't forget about adding superglue to your skills toolbox. Superglue can be used to close small cuts in emergencies. It's a basic, quick fix to prevent infections until proper care is available. Never underestimate the functionality and use of tampons for puncture wounds or deep cuts. They're sterile, absorbent, and easy to carry. While we're on the feminine hygiene products, maxi pads can be used as bandages also. Their high absorbency and sterile packaging make them perfect for covering large wounds. Catching food in the wild is harder than most people think. Preparation and practice are key. Learn to build simple fishing traps using sticks and mud to funnel fish into a confined area. Work on creating basic snares and work your way to more advanced spring snares or figure-4 deadfalls for small and mid-sized wild game. Learn local wildlife by studying the habits and habitats of animals in your area to increase your chances of trapping fish and small wildlife. A few unorthodox tips to take your basic fishing and hunting to the next level. Carry a small fishing kit with hooks, line, and sinkers in your everyday carry. It's lightweight but invaluable. Build a fishing can by wrapping fishing line around a soda can, add a hook and sinker, and use it as a hand reel. Once you've caught the fish and small game, knowing how to clean and cook it is critical. First things first, with any fish or wild game, learn to gut and properly clean the fish or animal. Practice on small animals or fish. Avoid puncturing organs to prevent contamination. Experiment with various cooking methods like the roasting, smoking, or grilling over an open fire. For long-term preservation, learn the basic preservation techniques like salting and jerky making. Some unorthodox tips: use citrus juice if available to help clean and tenderize meat while adding a zesty flavor. Don't underestimate the value of an empty aluminum can. Aluminum cans, specifically the sharp edge of a can lid, can act as a makeshift gutting tool in an emergency. At the end of the day, any flat surface can serve as a skinning board. Think outside the box, like a car hood or a large rod can double as a skinning board when you're in the wild. When salt is not available for long-term preservation of your catch, coating meat in wood ash will keep insects away and extend its shelf life. Modern emergencies often involve electrical failures. Knowing basic electrical skills can save you time, money, and frustration. For your vehicles, know how to jumpstart a car properly and replace blown fuses. At home, practice resetting circuit breakers and replacing outlets safely. Understand how to safely use generators or solar chargers to help out during power outages. Unorthodox tips: Invest in a hand crank generator. It can charge phones, flashlights, and radios without relying on fuel. Learn how to build the simple DIY power bank using AA batteries and a USB connector for charging small devices, and also how to turn broken solar garden lights into makeshift solar chargers for similar small electronics. Knots are the glue that holds survival skills together, literally. Once you learn these basic knots, you'll find countless applications. So practice, practice, and practice some more. Practice the basics like the bowline, square knot, and the taut line hitch. Learn specialty knots like the alpine butterfly for mid-rope loops and trucker's hitch for tightening. Some additional unorthodox rope and knot tips. Try carrying a short piece of rope or paracord in your pocket for on-the-go practice. Shop for glow-in-the-dark cordage to make your knots visible in low light. Sometimes the use of multi-tools pliers can be used to tighten knots when dealing with slippery or stiff cordage. When technology fails, old-school navigation skills will keep you on track and to your destination. Learn to read topographical maps and use a compass. A nice laminated map of the area you're in will be incredibly helpful. Identify the North Star and learn to track the sun's movement to determine basic east and west locations, then north and south. Learn how to estimate how far you've traveled. An orthodox tip. Practice navigating in your local area without landmarks. It's harder than it sounds, but it builds confidence. Use a stick and its shadow to determine cardinal directions. Mark the shadow tip every 15 minutes to find east and west lines. Use an analog watch as compass. Start by aligning the hour hand of an analog watch with the sun. The midpoint between the hour hand and the 12 o'clock points south. Cordage is a survival multi-tool. Knowing how to make your own can save you in a pinch should you run out of standard paracord or twine in your normal everyday carry or survival bag. Learn how to use nature's materials like roots, vines, or inner tree bark to make cordage. Repurpose plastic bottles or strips of fabric to create a special upcycled cordage. Learn simple braiding methods for creating even stronger cordage. Some additional unorthodox tips. Keep a small spool of dental floss in your kit. It's incredibly strong and versatile for sewing torn gear, tying things together, used as fishing line or fire starters if you have the wax kind. Old plastic bags can be twisted into cordage. They're waterproof, lightweight, and surprisingly durable. In the desperate situations, human hair can be braided into strong, thin cordage for tying or fishing. Now that you know the basic skills to prioritize, it's time to get to work. Don't just watch this video. Get out there and practice them. Teach them to your family and friends. Build a fire, pitch a tar, or tie a knot this weekend. Experience is the ultimate teacher. What additional skills do you have that we could all learn from? Share your skills in the comments. Your insights might inspire someone else to take their preparedness to the next level, and it may be featured in one of the next videos. To ensure you don't miss out on your contributions to this community, don't forget to subscribe and check out our products in the video description below. Remember, stay safe, stay prepared, and always stay ready.